In this video, I'll be showing you how to install a base Linux operating system on a machine with the intent of installing VC-4 on top of it afterwards. We'll be needing a few things. We'll need either a physical machine to install Linux on, or we can use a virtual machine. When using a physical machine, we would need installation media, such as a bootable USB drive. Since we're going to install VC-4 on this machine at a later stage, we would need to verify that the version of the Linux operating system matches with what VC-4 supports. Looking at the release notes, we can see that VC-4 supports Red Hat Enterprise Linux, CentOS, Rocky Linux, and AlmaLinux. And all these operating systems have been tested up to version 8.4, but we will be verifying newer versions in the future. In this video, I'll be using AlmaLinux. So let's see how we can download and install that. On the website, going to Downloads, selecting the correct version, so in this case version 8.4, selecting a mirror to download from, we can see that there's a couple of options here. We have a DVD ISO, which is the largest, which contains all of the packages necessary to do an offline installation, so you don't need internet access to use this installer. If we choose the minimal ISO, which is the one I typically use, we have all the necessary packages available to start the installer, but all the other packages will be downloaded during installation, so you do need internet access when using a minimal ISO. If you want to use a GUI, then you have to download the DVD ISO. As mentioned before, there's two options for installing Linux. We can either use a physical machine or we can use a virtual machine. The installation steps I'll be showing you in a few minutes are the same between physical installation or installation in a virtual machine. However, as I mentioned before, to install on a physical machine, we would need installation media such as a bootable USB drive. So let's see how we can do that. There's many tools that allow you to create bootable USB media. The tool I'm using is Rufus. Download it and open it and select the ISO file that we have previously downloaded for the Linux operating system. In this case, I have AlmaLinux version 8.4, the minimal ISO. All the other options in the tool Rufus can be left as is. They are all correct for creating a proper bootable USB drive. We press start. We have to select ISO image mode, which is the recommended mode here. And it tells me that it will destroy all the data on this drive. So keep that in mind, that all the information that is currently on this USB drive will be removed. It's going to copy over all the files. This is going to take a while. So we'll be back when this is done. When creation of the bootable USB drive has finished, we can plug it into our target machine, boot it up, and we should be greeted with a screen similar to this. We'll be installing, so we select install, and we'll be going over all the steps necessary to properly install Linux and prepare it for VC-4. As I mentioned before, the following steps are the same between physical installation of a Linux operating system or installation in a virtual machine. Select your language and continue. And let's go over all the necessary changes we have to make. On the left-hand side for localization, we can select keyboard type, language support, and of course the time and date. I'm going to change the time since I'm in Europe to make sure that the time on my machine is correct. And further down on the left-hand side, we can enable a root password and we can create a user. So let's do both. Let's fill the root password. And let's create a local user. I'm going to use my own name. I'm going to make myself an administrator. And this next step is not mandatory, but it is advised. So click on Advanced, and we can create a group and add this new user to it. This is not mandatory for the installation of VC-4, but it will be helpful for you when you want to use HTML5 XPanel or Crestron Go, for instance, in the future. This group can be named whatever you want. Click on Save Changes, click on Done, and we have created a new user. In the middle section, we can change the software installation type, in this case a minimal installation because I've downloaded the minimal ISO. So you will see that there's not much we can change. If you've downloaded the DVD ISO, there will be more options, but again, the minimal installation is enough for VC-4. On the right hand side, we have to select the disk we want to install VC-4 on, or sorry, in this case, Linux on, and later VC-4. So we select the hard disk and click on Done. Keep in mind that with this setting, all of the hard disk will be used for Linux. So all the existing files or other operating systems on that disk will be removed. Further down on the right-hand side, under Network and Hostname, you will see that network by default is turned off. So let's turn it on because we do need network connection. And if you want, you can also choose already the host name of this machine at the bottom here. That's all the settings done. We can click Begin Installation to actually start the installation of Linux. So let this finish. At the end, we can reboot the machine. And in the next section, we will be talking about installing VC-4 on this machine.